On today's Pub Talk, football is back, baby. We will have action for training camp coming up and also who we think will win the Super Bowl and what our look ahead to the season is, of course. We also have some pro football talk power rankings that came out this past week. And, of course, the Crazy Horse Monument of Horror Movies. This will be a great segment for us as we dive into some scary movies, of course. And then finally, once again, 6 beers to round out the show. But as always, before we get to that, Pub Talk is, of course, brought to you by Route 11 Chips. Summer brings friends and families together for all kinds of reasons. Cookouts, parties, socials, and maybe you're planning a big summer bash. Summer is running out, so you're going to need snacks, and Route 11 has been chipping away since 1992. With their secret recipe and superior ingredients, their mission is to make an outstanding product in a safe and clean environment. If you haven't tried their chips, you don't know what you're missing, and summer is running out. Quality flavor packed into every bag. So stop in at your local Giant Martin's or Food Line and pick up a bag today. Alrighty, let's get this thing started. Welcome back to Pub Talk, brought to you by Route 11 Chips. Make sure you find us on Twitter at ThePubQM, and also send us your questions at thepubqm@gmail.com. We also now have a Facebook page, so look us up there at CJ's Pub Talk. You'll be able to look us up there as well, and also find us on Spotify, where you can find all our fantastic episodes at CJ's Pub Talk. For some reason, I can't.
Shit, we got to get people to email us.
I just said that as the second one, man. You're wearing earmuffs right now, I guess.
Sorry.
Jeez, that's why you're the co-host.
It happens.
I guess so. So, once again, welcome back, Buzzman. Welcome back, of course.
I appreciate it. Good to be back.
Pat, of course, is back on because, once again, he has nothing else to do. So, we're going to go ahead and start off. Football is now back. Training camp has now started. And so, here in a couple of weeks,
You
actually.
hear the cheers from the crowds.
Nope, there's nothing. Okay. We don't have any cheer sounds. We're broke. So, training camp is now back, and here next week or the week after we have the Hall of Fame game. You got preseason going on.
What's it coming up next? Friday's game, Hall of Fame games, August 2nd?
August 1st.
August 1st?
August 1st, Thursday.
Broncos and Falcons.
Okay,
Broncos,
right.
Falcons.
So the Hall of Fame game, once again, a game that doesn't really fucking matter. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter. And then, of course, here in the first weekend of September, I think it's the first home regular season game. So everyone's excited for that. You're a baseball coach, Buzzy.
I am.
Well, what do you prefer? But I know you prefer baseball, but do you get excited ever for football season?
Oh, absolutely. I'd much rather watch a good football game than a baseball game. You know?
Okay, well, that's good to know.
You know, especially the way the Pirates are playing right now. 2-14 since the break.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
good
just wonderful.
Lord.
Yeah, they were right there in the wild card mix, and it's over.
Well, we went to go see the Nationals play the Dodgers yesterday, and
Good thing you didn't go today.
was it worse today?
11-1 slaughter of the Dodgers.
Oh, Dodgers went down?
11-1.
Well, it was 9-3 yesterday with Kershaw pitching. So I mean, that was a different story.
Started out a
well.
little rough,
Who was back today? Strasburg was back on the mound today.
Yeah, okay.
So for the Nationals, all right. Who gives a shit about baseball? Football is back.
Thanks for going down that road.
Sorry,
It was veered into a ditch right there, didn't we?
I know it
Holy
just took
shit.
a hard right turn.
Yeah.
I can't stop. We're going into training
Need
camp.
Callahan breaks.
Just because you wanted to save a couple extra pennies, man. So players are holding out.
Yeah.
Go fucking
Yeah.
figure.
It
That
never
happens
fails.
every
It's
single
a
year.
business.
It's about
It's
money,
a
man. And
business.
these guys think
Yes.
that they're worth more money and they hold out.
It's
and
nice seeing other teams besides the Steelers now have an issue with a big-time player holding out, especially the Dallas Cowgirls, who are still America's team somehow.
You know, he still has 2 years left on his rookie deal. So,
Well,
but
he
here's the
knows
thing.
what's coming.
He's led the league in rushing the 2 of the last 3 years. He's worth the money. I mean, he's done a lot for the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys' offense runs through Zeke Elliott. So, a part of me doesn't want him to hold out and be, affect his team. But at the end of the day, he's one of the most effective running backs in the league, period, in the last 3 years. He is just that good. So stop thinking that he's going to be just hunky-dory, happy and fine. And get the guy some fucking money. How hard is that?
I'm going to try and do a Jerry Jones impression. Well, you see here, we're going to have to try and find a way, but I'm excited for this season coming up.
Right.
Shut the hell up, Jerry.
Well, I think
Get your
Zeke,
running back
Well, I
back.
think Zeke knows what's coming. I mean, Dak Prescott is due for a contract at the. I think his rookie deal was
Was
up
it
too.
$400 million or something? That somebody was saying that
No
he was
Something like that.
getting.
He's up.
There's no
And then
I
Amari
thought-
Cooper has a contract situation next year. He's trying to get paid now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
if
actually,
he-
you
well,
can't blame him. You look at the other guys in the league; they want it too. They
Well, if
they
he
want
waits
same
to the
damn
end of
thing.
his contract is up,
Right.
he won't get paid
Right.
because they're going to pay Dak or Cooper. They're going to pay one of those guys. Which
Yeah,
would
I
take
mean, and
money
you got to
away
look
from
at the
him.
lifespan of a running back in the NFL. I mean,
And he wants his money
long.
now. Yeah,
So-
like if you go double-digit years, then
But he
Either
is,
you're really good or just a
he's
machine.
the linchpin of their offense. Holy shit! I
Yeah,
mean,
it-
just
And you look at the Le'Veon Bell situation; they're all looking at that now. He got his money, so he sat out a year, but he got his money. So,
Okay, but I wish that just running backs would understand. Well, of course, I'm sure they understand, but this is a business that is it can be lucrative, but it is a very dangerous business as a running back, okay?
doubt.
And when they want all this guaranteed money at the one position where you're like, dude, you could easily just go a foot forward and lose balance in your leg and just tear your ACL for good. It's a very dangerous business. And also, they try to see it for themselves, I feel, in my mind. When I look at the Dallas Cowboys, I see the offensive line in front of them, and I go, look, Zeke, could you at least take a little less money so you could have those guys in front of you again? Yeah. You're talking Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith. You're talking those guys who are – you bought freaking – what did they buy? Golf carts for them? I think it was Zeke who bought golf carts for them or something like that. And then Le'Veon Bell, David DeCastro, Marquise Pouncey, Andre Hollow, Villanueva. You also have Ramon Foster. Those guys, they've been leading your way. And look what they did with James Conner this past year. They did the same thing. So, I mean, Zeke Elliott not being on the plane, I'm not surprised. But, like,
yeah, Melvin Gordon of the Chargers wants the same thing. He's got 2 years left on his still rookie deal.
and he's
I
had
think
1 year, I feel, that was even
He's in the
worth
last
that.
year. He's in the last year of his rookie deal. He still makes $5.6 million a year, and he still wants more.
yeah,
It's
you
just
got to
like-
wonder where you got to draw the line.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it.
You look at Michael Thomas from the Saints. He had the most productive season ever in the history of the Saints. I mean, he had 125 catches, 1,400 plus
bigger
yards on
than,
offense. He's just dynamic as hell, and he makes $1.1 million, 1.14, whatever. He wants something in the neighborhood of 20.
All right, then go to Oakland where you
Well, the
got
Saints
Derek
have
Carr,
never-
or go to some place where you don't have Drew Brees, because I'd like to see you do your types of numbers without Drew Brees.
Go to
as your
Oakland, you got
quarterback.
Antonio Brown to deal with now.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
you're going to be
so-
competing with him. It's like Houston with Russell Westbrook and James Harden now. You're going to have bickering back and forth.
Well, Houston, speaking of Houston, Clowney is he was given a franchise tag.
And he's taking it.
Oh, he did.
He's taking the franchise tag. He's like, look, I sat out my first season basically because I screwed up my knee, and I'm taking the franchise tag because because he knows how much he's worth. He knows how much he's worth, and he's
expected to make $16 million.
But he's a dominant.
How could you live on that?
Be tough, but you make changes.
You
in
make
your
do.
lifestyle.
You make do, and
But Jadeveon Clowney is okay. There are like 3 types of football players. There's good football players, Jadeveon Clowney, and great football players. He's in a league of his own because if you look at his size and his stature, he could play defensive end and linebacker. He's like a Khalil Mack if you give him a great
he's
defense
not
around
that
him.
good.
That's because he has. The
I'm partial
other
to Khalil
best
Mack.
defensive lineman in the business, J.J. Watt, across
Who
from him.
didn't play shit last year? He hadn't done anything, and he's getting older. So
Yeah, that's what happens on the defensive line. You don't last long on the defensive line.
happens. That's just the way it is in the league.
Other
But
news.
holding out for more money, I feel for guys like Zeke Elliott, Michael Thomas. I'm thinking, but if you're a guy like freaking Melvin Gordon, I don't know if I open my mouth when I'm already making 5.6 and I expect to have more. And you want to be paid among the highest in the league. I don't know that that's an avenue you want to run down. I don't know all of
When
the
you play at the
business
StubHub Center, you don't deserve to be paid as much as you get.
well, they probably can't afford it.
Just
Yeah,
pay-
that's very
pay-
true. That's why I'm saying you don't deserve to get
pay
any
his-
money
pay
at
his
this
parking
point.
for 'em.
because they wanted to move back to L.A. and now they're playing at a soccer stadium.
Yeah, but now they're going to get the really big.
Oh yeah,
stadium
but
gonna
once
share
again,
with
they're
the
going to have to
Rams.
share it with the Rams. They're not going to get their own stadium. And also, the
Better than the
Patriots are going to get their
StubHub Center.
own emblem on that stadium anyway because they kick LA's teams every single year. So, I mean, come on now. Other news. Rip the Giants, rest in peace.
Yes.
Already in the first week, they have now lost 3 starting wide receivers, one of them due to suspension and 2 due to injuries.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard has broken his thumb. Was it
Fractured
broken?
his thumb.
Yeah.
Fracture equals broken.
And then
in a way.
Corey Coleman
those are
tore his
synonyms.
ACL. He's done.
Yeah,
Now, I don't know
synonymous,
how
yeah.
much he would have helped. And then Golden Tate with the
Suspension.
suspension.
Yeah.
Did
Go-
it really matter? Were the Giants were they going to
No.
be a factor anyway?
No.
I mean, you had such high expectations with
I
Daniel
saw,
Jones
I,
coming in,
I
right?
saw a stat today. It said that the Eagles have a 51% chance of winning that division, which is 2 times what the other 2 teams' percentage is. They put the Giants and the Cowboys at 21%.
Really, the
Yeah.
Cowboys are
Yeah,
down
well-
there
well, the
above
Cowboys-
below the Redskins.
Yeah, well.
They think the Redskins had the second best chance to win the
No.
division.
The Redskins were down at 8, 9, 10%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And I think
I
they-
spoke so highly of the Redskins there for a
Well,
second.
and I think
almost
part of the reason
fainted.
Dallas was up that high too is they got Jason Witten coming back this year. So you never know what's going to happen with that guy. You know. So
Hopefully he'll stay out of the broadcast booth.
Oh, my God. He was
But now we get the fantastic Booger McFarland up there,
yeah,
who eats his boogers
that guy. I
while
tell
the
you
play's
what,
going on.
oh, he's awful.
He's one Popeye's chicken biscuit away from being a tight end. That line will stick with me forever. And, okay, so training camp, you can't really talk much about it, but it still is football.
Yeah.
And-
I'm worried about the injuries, man.
Oh, yes.
Injuries, especially in training camp, these guys that are going down left and right. It's a damn shame, you know, that you spend all that off season preparing your body, healing up from the
Yeah,
season.
but they can't do contact during OTAs or anything
Yeah,
like
but
that.
they're still doing explosive performance, and they're doing
Yeah,
things
I
at
guess
full
so.
speed. That's in one-on-ones. You know, that's how injuries happen.
I know, but now that
There's no
you're
way to
starting
avoid it.
to get into full contact drills, you got to go your hardest because you're trying to make the team right now. Okay,
Not if I'm a
job is on-
superstar. Not if I'm freaking Jadeveon Clowney. I don't.
Well, if
have
you're
to
Corey
freaking-
Coleman, you are. And if he's tearing his ACL and he's trying to make the team of probably his 4th team in the past year and a half, I want to say.
Browns, Bills, Giants.
I want to
think
say.
it's 3.
I want to say. Okay, so 3 in the
3.
past year and a half, and you're just trying to make a team. I mean, that's what you got to do. And if you tear your ACL, I mean, that happens. But anyway, I'm excited for the season. I just want football to start already. I can't wait for college football. First week, West Virginia plays James Madison. The Dukes go to Morgantown.
Oh,
so
that could be a tough one.
Yeah,
I'm
I would say. I would say.
Oh, trust me.
Well,
I was
good.
saying, people were saying, like, oh, dude, WVU, they lost their head coach and everything. And I kept saying, this isn't your East Carolina or
Or
NC
Virginia
State.
Tech. James
Yeah.
Madison walked in and beat Virginia Tech a couple of
Yeah,
years
that
ago.
was
Hey.
that was 9 years ago, though,
Well.
man. What I'm saying though is that this is a Big 12 team that their offense, they lost their quarterback, but like they still have a lot of pieces on that offense, and they're just not going to let some FCS team just waltz in there. This is a Big 12 team. This
Right.
isn't East Carolina,
and
the
not an
AAC.
easy place to play.
Yeah, in
Not an
Morgantown,
easy place
no
to
Not
question.
App State in the big house.
That's right.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not blocking the field goal to win the game on
Right.
Big Ten Network.
But it's cool. I'm just excited for the return of football. Being a high school coach, our season begins next Thursday. It's you get all geeked up. I hate the beginning part because of all the formality and all the nonsense that you have to go through just to get onto the field. But once you get on the field, then you have this. I don't know what you call it.
You have a
this-
clear mind. You
Yeah.
get giddy.
Yeah, you
like,
get a little
It's like
jacked up
Christmas
and-
morning. It's just like, we can finally be productive.
Yeah.
And get kids.
You're productive on Christmas morning? I don't
mean-
really think that's how it works usually. That's the day that you're like, yeah, I'm not doing shit.
I don't do shit anyway.
So then why'd you say it's like Christmas morning, coach?
Because you get
Because
excited.
you're supposed to be a coach
You
as
get
well.
excited.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
It
All
is
right, so
exciting.
going on to our next segment.
Holy.
Okay,
I know.
well, you're going to go ahead and start before I even
All right.
start talking
No,
about
I'm
it.
not doing anything.
Did Chris
Shut
Sims
your
make this
face.
list?
No, but
Yeah,
I
I don't think it's that
No,
bad.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think
This
it's
is
that bad.
Yeah.
Chris
But-
Sims is number 33
Okay,
on the list.
That's right.
for anyone who knows what we're talking about, Sunday Night Football came out with the PFT Power Rankings this past week.
Pro Football Talk.
Football Talk, quotations around the pro, okay? And they see that these are the best teams, 1 to 32. And would you look at that all the way down at the bottom? You got the Arizona Cardinals. Wow.
And look where they put the Giants.
And the aforementioned Giants.
And I think
Remember-
the Giants should be 32 at this point.
So
Yeah,
you
they
put
could've.
Kyler
Well-
Murray at what, the 21st best quarterback that when we did that
Right,
list?
right.
And yet
And
they're
yet-
number 32
Right.
as a team
Yeah,
down at the
exactly.
bottom. And then the one that jumps out to me right away
3 of them jump out at me.
is Houston Texans at 17.
Yeah.
When you put that one there,
They're
next-
better than Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They're better than Green Bay right now.
And they put Minnesota at 12 was another one to me. Minnesota, who hasn't shown, they were average last year with Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. And then the other one is
I'm surprised
Dallas.
Atlanta's that high.
Dallas, what is that?
Dallas at number
do?
4?
Dallas, what
Yeah,
are they
I
Dallas
don't
is-
get that.
Dallas has won 3 playoff games in the past 25 years. No, excuse me, 20 years. They have won 3 playoff games in the past 20 years. And people still try to get them on this horse, like Skip Bayless. They try to get them on this horse like, wait, this is their year again. And it's like, no, it's not. Okay, what the Cowboys will do is they will be the Cowboys and they will somehow mess it up. They will somehow do it. Go ahead.
I got 3 things wrong with this thing. Oakland at 28. Oakland's got some serious weapons now. They got some serious weapons. Now, they had a team that was ravaged by injury last year. They're at 28. Are you serious?
Yeah, I
They're
don't.
better than the Skins, Bucks,
I
Lions.
just don't see that.
Right.
I don't see
They're
that.
better than the Jets right now.
The other one is the Rams. The Rams just played in the Super Bowl.
And they're 7th.
They were an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they were freaking powerful. They dropped to 7th.
Didn't they beat the Cowboys? Yeah, they did in the
How the
playoffs.
hell?
And
How
then
are
the
the
other
Bills
one
at
is
21?
not even that. It's the Browns
Lord.
at 13.
That's exactly my point right there. All I hear about the last week when I'm watching football is the Browns. They got the division. They got their Super Bowl bound, these Browns, with these new additions. And yet they're behind the Steelers and they're right in front of the Ravens.
Right. I've watched this Odell Beckham Jr.
No one cares about the Bengals.
I've watched,
No one
I've watched Odell play. I've watched him have an impact. But you know what? I haven't seen the Giants win the Super Bowl in the last 5 years with Odell. I haven't seen them do any of those things. And so you move him to Cleveland and you put him with Baker Mayfield, who by all accounts is a decent athlete and a good field manager and stuff like that. But at the they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything. And if you haven't done anything, you don't deserve to be that high in the rankings. You're in the top 50% or top 30% of of the league. Bullshit.
your mic closer.
What do you mean? I'm leaning on. What do you mean? Am
I know
too
you're just far away. I'm just I'm running the
That's all,
mixer.
yeah,
here.
that's very, very speculative.
Right.
In my mind, putting them there.
Cleveland.
You know?
Kiss my ass. You haven't done anything yet.
And then Philly at 3. No offense, but Philly at 3. I mean, look, you lost some of your defensive firepower with Jordan Hicks. Now with the middle linebacker gone, and then LeBlanc is
that's
also
not a
in.
big-
LeBlanc is also now injured, so that's a huge loss for your defense right there.
LeBlanc wasn't much of a starter anyway.
And then
I think just from a pure talent standpoint,
Okay, yes, then
that's why
then
we're up
no
there.
question.
And the fact that we've been pretty successful with so many injuries the past couple of years. I mean, even when we went to the Super Bowl, we lost our MVP quarterback, and we still got the job done. Last year wasn't going well. Foles comes in and gets us to the divisional. You know, I mean,
And you almost won the divisional.
and we
Had it
probably
not been
should
for a
have
couple
won.
of plays. Yeah.
I think I'd bump the Colts a couple of spots too. I'll be honest
Yeah,
with you. You know,
I
I don't
mean,
see. I think Andrew.
I'd put the
He's
Colts
good.
at 4.
I think I would too.
Even
You
the
know,
Rams, maybe.
I would probably. What is this nonsense?
I mean,
When you listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star
Yeah,
over there.
I'm looking at this thing, and I think they dialed in the Saints, the Seahawks, the Steelers, the Chargers. I think those guys are locked in somewhere in that anywhere from 5 to 10 spot. I think you can throw the Bears in there too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm not
Absolutely.
moving my Steelers anywhere.
Right.
They have a lot to prove.
Uh,
this year.
yeah, and
Exactly.
the Vikings.
to prove
I'm thinking when
regardless.
you look at this and you look at this in blocks, Green Bay hasn't won a playoff game, hasn't been in the playoffs in 3 years.
And
either.
yet somehow people still think that Aaron Rodgers is better than Drew Brees.
Coach killer.
Right,
Coach killer.
and then you have the newly defined New York Jets.
He's going to be cramming LaFleur's hole up later in the season.
The Jets, at the end of last year, Sam Darnold was one of the most productive quarterbacks in the NFL. If he progresses it the same way, and now you have a consistent running game with Le'Veon Bell, how do you put the Giants all the way or the Jets all the way down in 24? I question some of these things. Now, there's a lot that I don't. I think, Tennessee, Buffalo, 49ers. I think when you're looking at those guys, I don't have a problem with the bottom half of this list. I don't have a problem with Tampa Bay and the Redskins. Oakland, obviously, is a big question mark for me, especially with the talent pool that they have coming back.
Yeah, they
And
showed
now that
some
they're
stuff
healthy
last year
again.
in a few games.
Yeah, and they're healthy again. So, and then this is Gruden's second season, so he's cooking with his own ingredients. So let's see what they can get done in the next season before we cast them out and leave them at the bottom like that. But yeah, the biggest ones where I said were Oakland at 28. The Rams dropped to 7. They had a 13-3 loss in the Super Bowl. Big deal, but they chewed up people in the regular season last year. One of the best games in NFL history. One of the best, most exciting games to watch was the Chiefs and the Rams last year.
Mm-hmm.
Score fest. I mean, so
That's what
and then the
people wanna
Browns.
see.
I just don't think that the Browns have done shit for me lately. I don't.
The
care
Browns
that you-
haven't done shit for anybody.
I don't care.
They may prove everybody wrong,
They could very well.
but apparently there's a
can't-
lot of people on that bandwagon
Yeah, but you can't
And-
anoint. You can't anoint
I
somebody
agree.
without any kind of
because they haven't proven anything yet.
Right.
Well, I mean, Brienne of Tarth was anointed tonight. So.
Yes, she was.
That was a big bitch, wasn't it?
Yes, she was.
Is the big lady
a
around?
fine-looking woman.
Is the big lady back?
Giant's Bane.
Yeah, he's awesome. He was one of my favorite characters. Yeah, but
Totally.
old Jamie slew that dragon now.
Yeah, I
Took
know.
that bitch down a peg.
Oh my God!
Taught her a thing or two.
And
At
then
least it
she
was-
had feelings for
At least
him.
it wasn't
Yeah.
even banging his sister, so that's all good.
Anybody?
But we digress.
We've gone from football to milk to sex. Anything else?
Just
on
incest in
this
general.
list?
I mean, that's pretty.
I think that's a pretty good
Anything
order
good-
of things there. I have no problem with that.
It's all about progression, man.
It's all about
Just keep-
progression.
just
Hey,
keep
if you get off
progressing.
topic, I'm cool with that.
If you have a segue into those things, then it's all good.
yeah,
Move
sex
smoothly.
might be into these horror movies, so
talked
let's
to
go
a
ahead
There
and
you
get
go.
into that.
There
I
you
talked
go.
to our bartender. She's bringing our beers over there. So.
Very good.
So let's go ahead and get into the movies.
Okay.
Okay, so horror movies this week.
I'm on this now.
And now, as you said, that you don't watch horror movies because they're scary.
Well, let me tell
Well,
you
no
something.
shit,
Well,
Sherlock.
Let me tell you something, and I'll be perfectly honest. I stopped watching these types of movies in 1982. I had realized.
How old are you?
I was
It's
18.
2009.
All right, and I had realized in 1982 that there was absolutely
Thank
no reason for me to watch a movie to scare the shit out of me, and I can't sleep. I'm having night. Yeah, see, no.
Well, no, I
So,
mean, don't get me
I
wrong.
know.
Now
I
that-
know that there are a lot of excellent movies that have come out within the last 10 years, 15 years.
Yes.
And my daughters love them. They go, not me.
No,
brother.
not me.
Not
like,
me. I will
the
not
thing
step
that-
in.
And here's the thing: is that the movies that I want to say on this list, there may be like one movie that has some jump scares, but I'm not a fan of movies that literally just has jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. Because
That's the worst part.
because that doesn't
Those are the
tell
worst parts.
when a horror movie is good, it has a story to tell you about this certain
And
character.
I think my list is
Yeah.
quite indicative of that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is a different type of thing. I basically given up on like the movies that we agree on. We're gonna go ahead and put our movies in of what we believe should be on the list.
So we'll set 5 on Crazy Horse Monument.
So I'm gonna go ahead, Mr. 1982. What do you got first?
You got me number one right off the get.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
The Exorcist.
Okay, yep.
And
That's easy
I
enough.
know. Look, 1973.
Reagan's not here.
You know, the guy to
Linda
my
Blair.
right has not seen The Exorcist
Well,
yet.
they had a remake too. Didn't they remake?
No, they didn't.
They had a
The
sequel.
power
some
of
sort.
Christ.
Yeah.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels
Let me
you.
tell you, I was 9 years old when that movie came out, and that movie was supposed to get an X rating.
Yeah, because of the
Oh
They
my
didn't want because
goodness.
they
The
did
cru-
not want kids
the crucifix
able to watch
scene.
that. And they didn't release that on video till 1999.
You know, she was a young kid too at the
Right.
time, and some of the things that she was asked to do as a part of that
Right.
role were very difficult to
Freaking
see.
head spinning around.
Well,
like a
not
freaking
just
top.
that, but
Yeah,
you
I don't think
remember,
no one
you
can
know,
do that. Okay.
She was asked to do certain things
Right.
with the crucifix and
say
your
some
mother-
things.
They were
say-
they were
Right.
saying a lot of things, and
And
they
say
they
your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Right.
I don't think she's supposed to say that. Really don't think so.
9
Well,
year
when
olds
you
don't
got the
say
devil
that.
in you, you do.
9-year-olds don't
So
say that.
in my
that's
book,
where-
that's a number one.
Oh my, that could
outside
that could
of
very well
everything
be.
else.
You know, because at the time when you look at how that movie was made, holy shit. I mean, there are people today in 2019 who still go to Georgetown
To see those steps,
to go
yeah.
see those famous steps where the father threw himself out the window
Yep.
to kill himself after he was possessed. And so that it's one of those things. I think I'm going to sit at the top of Crazy Horse Mountain with that one as well. I think it was a generational movie that came along, and it still stands up today in terms of creepiness.
It's sheer terror. I won't watch it now.
It's thought provoking. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
really is.
Okay,
So-
the only difference with me and my number one is Jaws. Okay,
Well, see, I have Jaws at 2.
the
so-
reason why I
have
thought
that
that
too, as
Jaws was
well.
number one over The Exorcist is because as a kid you look at, if you saw The Exorcist, you go, okay, well, that can't be real. When you see a shark in the water and it starts pulling people under, and you go, I'm not going swimming ever again.
Yeah, there would have been
terrorized the
Never have
generation.
that
Hey,
again.
there would have been no movie to watch if people would have just said, "Shit, I ain't going in the water."
Exactly.
If they just stayed the fuck out of the water, you wouldn't have had a movie.
Listen, I went to see Jaws when it
Oh,
came
I
out
did.
in
I was-
Well, it was
1975.
rated
I did.
PG, and it got a PG rating when it came out.
I went to see it with my dad and my brother.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a lot of shit from back in 1975, but I can remember sitting in that theater being scared out of my freaking
When Ben
mind.
Gardner's head comes
Pops out of that boat.
that was a
And that-
jump scare.
that was
and that
horrible.
was it was perfectly timed. You know what I mean? What Spielberg did in '75 was set the bar really, really high for horror movies.
And
to
I've
come.
said this before,
or thriller horrors.
that Jaws changed the industry forever in a good way and a bad way. Because in a good way, you go, this is groundbreaking, okay? Because you look at the way the movie started out, you're like, oh my God, this woman is literally, what is she being pulled down by? And you go through the story, and then you finally get the progression of like, they're hunting this son of a bitch down.
Right. Well,
They
here's
really
the thing,
are.
though. But when you watch that movie, the killer, you have
don't
a sense
see
of
him.
you have a sense of what it is, but you don't see him because it
I
doesn't
think the
have a
name gave it
person-
away.
Yeah.
Jaws.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It doesn't have a personality. It doesn't. It's a killer
It's
that
just
you
a
can't
killer.
see.
The other thing about the movie was it had a whole lot or several scenes that were very jocular and they were fun scenes.
Show me the way
right
to go.
when they were comparing the scars.
I'm tired and I
Hope
wanna
I
go
ain't
to
you watching it, you idiot.
Hoopa drives the
the
boat.
boat chief. Hooper drives a boat. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
just,
then-
some one-liners in there that
you're
really
certifiable, Quinn. You're certifiable. You know that.
And it goes through the
I
whole
see you
movie.
brought your rubbers. The way he laughs over there.
And it goes through the whole movie up until the very end. It goes.
You were
It's
in
a whole movie of
Indianapolis?
suspense up until the smile, you son of a bitch, and you
Yeah.
see the bullet hit the tank in the shark's mouth,
Yeah.
and it blows him up.
The ricochet underwater. Yeah,
And
that's
my
all.
mom
Right, right.
has
Very correct.
seen a theater of people once that
Oh,
shark blow up.
when the
cheering.
they're
the people
clapping.
cheered.
They're
They-
just
they
cheering.
Cheered. They cheered.
And
And I remember
you don't
seeing
get
it
that.
I remember seeing that when I was a kid. Is that and I've said this 1,000 times about the movie. It was a movie that scared a generation of people because when it came out, people did not want to go in the water.
Oh, absolutely
It
not.
scared
No.
the shit out of people.
And then the second and third ones came out, and
That's,
everyone said, it's okay.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was
This
saying.
bullshit doesn't really happen.
That's what I was saying before about how it changed it in a bad way, and
shark
it was
growling.
like you had to leave Jaws where it was with the first one. When you come out with the second one is okay, but you go through the whole movie and you go, it's just like the first one. It's like, oh, tank blow up in shark's mouth, eat shock wire. That's all it is.
Right.
And then in the third one, SeaWorld,
SeaWorld,
come
yeah.
on, man.
They
And then,
had to-
and then the fourth one, growling shark, a freaking and the scene where the shark in the first one, you know how it goes down into the water, you see its nose like blown up and everything. They literally took that scene from the first one
That's 'cause it
and
was so
put it
good.
in the fourth one. They didn't even make a new
they
scene for
were
that
out.
piece of shit
They
movie.
were out of things to do. Yeah.
So Jaws, that's why I like it
Definitely
at number
Jaws.
one. Though.
I love Jaws.
Some people question whether it's technically a horror film.
Oh, it is.
It scared the shit out of a lot of
exactly.
people,
So
that's the thing.
that's what it is.
And
Some
I,
people
and I
call it
saw it when I
suspense
was like
or
8
thriller.
or 9 years old, and I was scared to go into the water. And it was like, oh, the movie came out in '75.
Yeah.
I'm still scared to go into the water
Yes,
now.
Jaws of Revenge has a 2.9 star rating.
How the hell did
on
it get
IMDb.
2.9?
It has a
I'm surprised
0
it's
on
2.9.
Rotten Tomatoes. It's not even close.
It's a 0.
Yeah. So you're number 2, Buzz. What
That
do
was
you got?
I got Jaws.
Okay,
too.
so
Yeah,
number
yeah.
3 then.
Well, here's what I got for 3, 4, and 5. I got basically a tie.
Okay.
You all know me.
Okay, and this is all based on my history, not movie.
Well,
cinematic
I've seen a lot
history.
of older horror movies. I
Nightmare
like
on Elm Street.
Okay, yes.
1984.
Absolutely.
Freddie Krueger. Halloween.
Yep.
1978. Michael Myers. And Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I
guess it's
1980.
tie, yeah.
Jason Voorhees.
I did
Which
did
one?
those
The
in
first one?
All yes.
I did
first
those
one,
in I did those as a kind of like a group as
Right.
an honorable mention because they were kind of cut from the same mold. Even though they weren't on the same premise. They had the same cut from the same mold. I didn't list them that high because I thought there were other quality movies, but I understand why you have.
But this
that.
is personal.
Right,
This
right.
is that it has
Right.
nothing to do with.
Oh, no.
because
I went back
Yeah.
and
I remember
watched-
watching those three.
I went back and
just,
watched them all.
Just the sound effect of Jason and then the woods and Camp
Yeah.
Crystal Lake,
right,
and,
coming back to kill those people. Because he got yeah.
you know that,
For me-
that whole sound effect.
For me,
That
out
was
of that group,
badass.
personally, I think Halloween is the best for me because I watched all those movies. And,
Michael Myers was a bad motherfucker. He was.
Okay, but what I loved is the
Jamie
guy
Lee
who
Curtis.
Jamie Lee
played
Curtis didn't look too bad.
Yeah,
the guy who played who was
taken out by a woman
who was
with
the
nice
mental
tits.
institution director.
Oh yeah.
He followed him. He
yeah.
followed him around, and I just remember him saying, "I once saw this 6-year-old child with this blank stare, with these dark eyes, the devil's eyes." And I spent 10 years trying to get him to come back to reality, and 6 more trying
Donald
to make sure that he
Pleasance.
wouldn't
Donald
get out.
Pleasance.
Yeah.
He's
And
a
he
British
said-
actor.
1978.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a bald
And
British
Halloween,
actor.
1978.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that because it's like it talks about how Michael is like he is the definition of evil.
I think when
okay?
you look into Rotten Tomatoes and you see how these other places they ranked at, and you're 90% plus rating, it's a good fucking movie, and people are going to be scared by it. I mean, Michael Myers scared a freaking
Well, you
generation
gotta-
of teenagers.
That's exactly right. You're talking about the 70s now,
Right.
when these kinds of movies hadn't been produced before. Now they're a dime a dozen. You can find horror movies all over the place that are probably a lot scarier. But back then, this was it. So that's where my list.
Do you
comes
have
from.
one, Pat? Do you have one that you would put on this list?
Dawn of the Dead.
Okay,
Yeah, I've got that on here too. As a
Have you seen the original?
Yes,
Okay, so
I've
yeah.
seen both ones.
That
The
is-
original's better.
Oh yeah, the original's better. I have to say that the special effects that they used for like the blood and guts is
Right.
pretty.
it's
Okay, but like
it's also what year was Dawn of the Dead? We're talking
Shoot,
about.
I don't even remember. Probably the
Dawn
80s.
of the Dead. Oh no, it was like 79.
I was
wasn't
gonna
it?
say, so,
Dawn
you
of
know-
the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. That's on my list. I love that movie. 1978.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
thought it was
So
78.
it's another one of
79,
those
yeah.
70s genre.
You know,
movies.
George Romero made a great movie. And once again, when you look at Rotten Tomatoes and you look at what Metacritic does, and you see these ratings where they're 90+% approval, 93% for Dawn of the Dead. Now the new one with Ving Rhames, or the newer one with Ving Rhames and what was her name, Polly, whatever her face was. I liked that one too. I really liked it.
It adapted to the time of what it is now,
Yeah,
because you still
it
have
did.
the mall, you still have
Right.
zombies attacking the mall,
But it told the
and trying to
story,
survive.
and
Yep.
and I thoroughly enjoyed Dawn of the Dead. I remember when I was in
When
high
there is
school.
no more room in hell.
I remember when high school that movie had come and gone, and then there was this place where we lived. They would have what was referred to as the midnight movies, and it was a big thing for high school kids to go to the midnight movie, and they would always put up a popular movie. And one time they did it it was like a month-long feature on the weekends. It was Dawn of the Dead, and it was sold out all the time. And I can remember going with my friends and with my girlfriend and just being scared shitless that this zombie movie was.
Yeah.
You just want to look at somebody that's like stumbling down the street, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you don't look good.
Do I have to shoot you
Do
in
I
the
have
head?
to hit you with a bat?
Yeah, I just thought it was. I thought it was
When there's no
a
more
great
room in
movie.
hell,
When there's
the
no
dead will
more,
walk the earth.
yeah, famous line from that. You know,
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of honorable mention types, but
My next one, though, I have Alien. The first one, Alien. Because
Sigourney Weaver.
Because I have Aliens as more of an action style movie. The second one.
I saw that more as a sci-fi thing actually
Right.
too. I see what you mean though.
Because
I see why you would select
The
that.
first one, you go, okay, they're on this ship out in space, and they're just traveling to this planet, and a freaking face sucker gets onto this dude's helmet, and they bring him back to the ship, and the thing just pops out the dude's chest and goes into the ship, and you're like, everything must be okay. It must be an ant.
What the fuck was that?
Exactly. And then they go on about their business, and then you turn out this xenomorph turns into a full-fledged alien. And I don't know who came up with the design for the alien, but fuck you, dude. Because you would think that seeing the teeth would just be enough, and you go, those are some shark teeth, and wham, a free little mouth with even smaller teeth comes out. And so when you have all of the crewmates just dying one by one,
Definitely.
in different ways too, they're not all the same. Like you have one go to the hangar and it's just slimy everywhere and it's dark and you're like, yep, he's dead. There's no, he's not coming out of that alive.
Yeah, the movie rating once again for a film like Alien, and I didn't select that one, but I could see why they did. Is still in excess. It's 94%. When you look at some of the
it's
critics,
just one alien. It's
Yeah.
not multiple.
it's like 8.5, almost 9 out of 10. Everybody likes it. And it told a great story. You know, once again, when you look from the 1970s to early 1980s, there was some quality freaking
Texas
scary-
Chainsaw Massacre.
made the 70s as well,
Texas,
you know.
1974.
You know, a lot of people wanted to think that that was a
Yeah.
real story, and they told it as such, you know.
Yeah.
That a
The
bunch of
Omen.
hip-
How about The Omen?
yeah.
have you,
yeah, with Gregory Peck.
Yes, Damien.
Yeah.
I'm one for. I'm one for. Have you ever heard of The Thing? I've seen
The thing, they
Crazy
remade
shit.
that. Kurt Russell was in the
They
original.
remade that one, but
Kurt
it was
Russell in
terrible.
But it was down in the Antarctic, down in
Yeah, it was
Antarctica.
down in Antarctica,
What was?
and this
The Thing.
It was about
yeah.
this base down in
yeah.
the middle of
Right.
Antarctica.
Kurt Russell's
And,
in the
man,
original.
It was very good because
You know, that rate's really high on all the lists. When we started looking at the list on.
and you've never seen it, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen portions of it. I've never
It's
sat
dark.
that.
Oh, I mean, it's because there's nothing there. You're down in the middle and nothing.
Yeah, and the
Who do
ending's
you
a little,
trust?
the ending's a little goofy. I remember seeing the end of it. But yeah, I think the people really like that.
I keep seeing on all these lists about The Shining,
Yeah,
and
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
and I have not seen that movie.
Oh, it's another one. I got it on my list of
Yeah,
honorable
it's
mentions.
just because when it was
1980.
adapted from a book Stephen King wrote, and it's another possession movie. It's another one of those things where something
Yeah.
gets in. There's an evil spirit, and it enters freaking Jack Nicholson,
Right.
and just some of the sequences that take place in the movie, like the little kids, the red rum, and
Oh
some
my
of that
God.
crazy shit that was.
That just brought up one of my honorable mentions: Children of the Corn.
Oh, see,
Children
now,
of the
Children
Corn.
of the
I refuse to watch Children of the Corn.
Don't.
Nope, I
It-
will
oh
not.
man, that
I
was
will
such
not.
a, that was such a,
Malachi! Go get them,
Malachi.
Malachi!
That little freaking fucked up farm kid with the
And it starts
little
off-
plain kid with the goofy fucking black suit and
I
hat.
can't speak on this movie.
Yeah.
Well, it starts off like that. It's like, oh,
Little
look, it's a
freaking
nice
pale-
diner
like the-
with all these
like-
people.
Like that kid didn't see the sun for fucking forever. He was a little white bastard. I don't know. If you've seen it, if you saw the original Children of the Corn, and
it's messed
that little
up,
kid
man.
was like somebody wouldn't have freaking shot him anyway and said, "Hey, that little kid's creepy. Let's get him." You know.
It's like the two kids in The Shining where they're at the end of the hallway and they're just
riding
staring
their
at
tricycles.
staring at the tricycle kid.
Oh, no, the
That's
kids-
Children of the Corn.
Right.
That basically is.
Malachi?
What about Silence of the Lambs?
I picked that one. That is number 3 on my list.
I got it in there as honorable mention. But
Not so
Anthony
much.
Hopkins.
Not so much as a jump scream or anything
No,
like that, but a great story.
Yeah.
What a great story to be told that
Oh,
Hannibal
the
Lecter
lamb's
is
still crying,
Right,
Clarice.
Clarice. What did he say? Multiple Migs. He said, "I can smell your cunt." You know, shit like that.
Yeah, that went bad.
That really got bad.
Multiple Migs got it bad, didn't he? Swallowed his own tongue. But another creepy movie. What was it? They called him Wild Bill. James Gumb was the killer in the movie, the serial killer who was creating he was harvesting the tissue from the girls and creating that body mask or whatever it was. Remember when he's sewing the skins together? He's tanning and sewing the skins together. It puts the lotion on itself. It does this whenever it's told. Put the lotion in the bag.
Then we got one before all of us, and that's Psycho.
Yeah.
You go back to 1960. I mean, I saw it as a young man, but
I really don't. I know it's great for its time, but I watch that and I go, that doesn't even compare to what some of these movies are.
Yeah, but you
now.
have to
to
consider
admire
it from when it came out.
I know.
And what it did at the time.
I don't. Everybody hit mine. I don't even have a list now because you guys hit all of the ones on my list.
Well, I have one more, and it's It.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It.
Fucking clowns.
Yeah,
Like,
Pennywise. That's a scary motherfucker.
Yes, it is.
He comes in the
Clowns.
middle of the night. How'd you just like wake up out of your bed and there's a fucking clown sitting in the corner? Holy
the clown
shit.
has no penis.
This clown has no penis. I'll kill you later, D-boy. Oh my God. You just pee. your
Relates
pants
back
right
to
there.
everything, man.
You just pee right there. I'm sorry.
That's why I don't watch them. That's why
Yeah,
I don't watch them.
Well, every time you finish a horror movie and it just scares the shit out of you, it's just like, I'm going to go buy a gun and I'm going to keep it on me. at all
Poltergeist was
times.
another one.
Yes,
You know,
Poltergeist was another one. Yeah,
I watched the whole
definitely.
thing, but one eye closed.
When the guy's eating the chicken and then the worms come out of the
Yeah.
or no, the worms don't come out of the chicken.
No.
He eats the chicken and then he puts it down and there's a steak and the maggots come out of the steak and then he starts peeling his face off in the bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a
There
goofy.
you
That's a scary movie, man.
Yep, absolutely.
Poltergeist. Oh my God, I remember watching that.
And then one honorable mention that I have is it's a funny movie, but it is a zombie movie, Zombieland.
Yeah.
Zombieland.
It's a funny movie,
It's
but
not
man,
sc-
I love that
Bill
movie.
fucking Murray. I love freaking Woody Harrelson.
You
in
just
that.
shot Bill Murray. Oh my God. The double tap, man. That's how you learn how to kill a zombie. You got
Yeah.
to shoot him twice in the head.
Yeah.
Shoot, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, just watch that movie. Learn the rules.
So I think we're all on the same page with Exorcist up there and also Jaws as well.
I think you have to hang him on Crazy Horse Mountain.
Absolutely.
I think you have to. I think you have to put him up there. I wish some of our listeners would write in and tell us their list of things because I'm sure there's things that we missed.
Well, there's got to be a lot of horror movies that have come out in the last 15 to 20
we
years
were talking
that
about
I haven't.
we
you
were
know.
talking about the silly ones that are kind of scary, but they're just kind of gross and fucked up. And that's the children have eyes and some of those like
The Hills Have Eyes.
Hills have eyes.
Where
right.
it has like no story. It's kind of just fucked up.
Yeah, these people just. Yeah, one of the other ones we were
serious,
talking
those
about on the
movies are
radio.
just messed up.
You know, we went to the game last night, but on the way home, we were talking about the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah,
You know, and I was like, I don't like that. I didn't think it was scary. I mean, for 3/4 of the movie, almost the whole entire movie, they weren't doing shit. They were just lost and scared. Okay.
That's what I do every single day.
How would I be freaking scared if I was in my car, but not in the fucking woods? And I'm like, how could you be completely lost? We're going in circles. How could you be that completely lost? And then at the end of the movie, there's a picture of
What, you didn't have your phone back then in 2000?
right.
Jeez.
The
And all you
flip-flop
and,
Motorola.
and all you got is this camera moving around in the woods
What
and these
about
people
Nokia?
doing donuts, doing circles, and it's like
Shit.
eh,
If you had a
I'm
Nokia,
not
you'd
impressed.
probably just
I wish
kill
I could
them.
speak on it. But
You know that.
Yeah, I
but-
was going to say, you could throw
you
a
know
Nokia
what
phone
kind
at
of a
them and
rating
they
did
would
that
knock it
movie
out.
get? What kind of
What?
rating
What?
did Blair Witch Project?
Oh, I'm
get?
sure it has a consensus good vote. I'm
you
sure
think?
it really
you
does.
think it
yeah.
does? I don't know. I think that if you I'm trying to pull
It
it
doesn't
up
have a
here.
story to it to me, so
The
I'm
Blair
not the
Witch
biggest
Project,
fan.
and this goes all the way back. The reviews say this: 87%, so it's under 90. 6.4 out of 10 by IMDb, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that it's more of a, I don't know, it's more of a conceptualization thing. They're trying to get you to assume something evil is going on, and it's more of an artsy fartsy kind of fucking scary movie rather than, Freddy Krueger in his badass glove hacking some little kid to get, hacking some kid apart, which would have been cool as shit. But there was no Blair Witch to speak of. I guess
Or
if you
Jason in his ugly ass face.
right, carrying a big ass machete. One of my favorite episodes of
Because there were so many of them.
is Jason. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 where they bring him back to life.
Jason Lives. That's
Where they
6,
go
yeah.
into the desert or go into the cemetery and they dig him up and they were gonna put a big iron stake down through his heart, just to make sure. And a bolt of lightning fucking hits the stake and brings Jason back
Just
to life.
brings him back to life.
And Jason
Yeah.
And
What
Jason,
a coincidence.
And then Jason
Amazing.
just rocked some shit.
Or
rocked
otherwise, the
heads.
movie wouldn't be called Friday the 13th.
Dude, he was Jason Bourne cracking skulls. That's what he was.
All right, Crazy Horse Mountain people and
Yeah.
his horror movies.
I liked it.
I don't know what
I
I'm
like
going to
it.
do next week for the script. I'll think of something.
I'd say we
for
go
it, though.
war movies. Let's talk
Okay,
war movies. Let's
Yeah,
talk
I
war.
forgot about them. Okay, I just wanted to get through the
Got to
normal
pick a war at
genres.
this point.
Yeah.
You got to pick a war.
Yeah.
You can't just go war movies. You'll have a list that's 30 long.
Yeah,
You got
it'll be
World
pretty
War
long.
II movies.
Should we go action military kind of thing?
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's got to be pondered.
Yeah.
But now on
right.
to the final segment of the show, the 6 beers. Let me get the. We found some new music. I'm gonna change it up from the porno that we've been having on the mic. So
Does that says dumb Starbucks coffee? What's the difference between dumb
Starbucks?
It says dumb Starbucks.
I don't know. I don't drink coffee, so we only drink beer.
Dumb.
Shouldn't you know this?
You don't drink beer.
What is
It's
this?
music for relax. I had to get rid of the beer jazz. It's okay.
Now that my
Gotta
taste buds
switch
have
it
been
up once.
effectively ruined.
The beer porn?
What
Come on.
from what to dumb Starbucks coffee music?
All right, here we go.
Wow, thanks.
This
Such a
sounds like
gentleman.
this is like the Peanuts.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown's going to come on out here now.
Gonna take the football away
Yeah,
from him.
Lucy's
Mr.
gonna pull
Rogers.
that- Yeah. Oh, there you
Mr.
go.
Rogers coming. Here we go.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day.
Neighborhood. All right, first up, Brew Republic Beer Works, and this is the Patriot 212 Golden Lager from Brew Republic's Beer Works, and I look at it. I look at
That's a
this
great
bottle,
looking
and it has
bottle.
a great looking bottle. The whole nine yards.
Does it say join or die?
Yeah, it does. It's,
Oh, okay.
I'll just die then.
Okay.
and this is made right here in
I'll just
Woodbridge,
die.
Virginia. Right here in Woodbridge. So let's pour this one up. Ooh, it's got a very golden look to it.
Don't throw
Wanna
up
pour
this
your
time.
own.
It's your stupid liquor
Hold
that
it
gets
Our
me.
boy Pat had a rough
Cheers.
night last night. He was trying to get it done at the game. Couldn't keep up with the old man.
I kept up. It's just
For a couple
don't-
innings.
No, it was liquor.
For
Liquor
a couple
later
of
at
what?
night.
Okay.
It's got a good smell to it.
Yeah. It's a. Is that a hoppiness there? It's not exactly bitter, but that's Patriot 212.
What is it?
It's called
Yeah.
Golden Lager.
Hoppy?
It's not.
I put it in the middle. I'm gonna put it in the middle for right now.
The one thing I know, it doesn't have that bite to it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't
You
hit
know,
me
it's
right
kind
away.
of, it's almost like it's a little flat going down.
It's called
You
a
know?
Munich style Helles Lager.
That's a fucking Germans. You can't do that shit.
And so what it says, it's
Not while I have beer in my mouth, man. You weren't here last week, but the Dark Hollow. I don't know if you listened to
Holy
it. Man, I'm
shit.
telling you, once it hit me, you can't see my facial expression. It was, oh man, it was like I was taking a dump. It really was. It was so bad.
It was.
really
It was a.
All right.
It was a stout, 10% alcohol.
Oh boy.
Oh, it hit like a
Next one,
freight
Coach.
train.
It was in a aged barrel too, wasn't it? It was some sort of
Yeah, it
some
had
sort of
water
bourbon barrel,
drips at the bottom
some
or
sort
something. I
of
don't
bourbon
know.
barrel. All right, so we got 3 Notch Brewing. This is out of Charlottesville, North
Charlottesville,
Carolina.
Virginia.
This is
Ah.
called the No Veto Brown English Style Ale. It's a brown one, very dark.
Hence the name.
Very nice looking beer, pouring out of the bottle. 3 Notched has made a couple of beers. A couple of the ones that they've had, we've turned our nose up to, but this one certainly looks good. Oh, you can smell the roasted flavors.
Oh yeah.
That's got a coffee taste to me.
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit
very
of a coffee taste.
Very
Coffee
roasted.
music for coffee beer.
Yeah, fucking Starbucks.
Good choice. Good
It says
choice.
dumb Starbucks.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You know what? That's not half bad.
No,
man.
That's actually
not
very
at all.
nice. It's got
not
great
bad.
flavor and it goes down smooth. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
it's not like Dark Hollow at all, where it was dark
And left you hollow.
and it was. Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
What's the
In the name itself.
No Vito
the
Brown
Patriot
English style
212
ale.
Golden Lager was 5.0% alcohol by volume, and it's really low on the bitters. The IBUs are really
Yeah,
low
see.
at under 20. So it's
This one's 5%.
Okay.
30 IBU.
Okay, so it's a little bit more,
But that's lovely.
but that was not bad. That's not
That
bad.
is
All right.
lovely.
Nice adjective.
This one's 6% alcohol by volume. This is called DC Brau. The Public is what it's called. And it's made by DC Brau Brewing right in Washington, D.C. I wonder if this is a German style. New Columbia is the name of the proposed U.S. state that would be created by the admission of the District of Columbia in the United States
Oh,
as
here
the
we go. Now
51st state
oh,
according to
that's it.
legislation
They want statehood.
in
Right, the
1983.
50s are
Yeah.
nice
You
even
really
number.
bringing politics into this shit?
Yeah, here we go.
We're drinking
Pretty
beers,
Pretty
shut up.
soon we'll be drinking beers from Guam and Puerto Rico.
So
Might get some of
Basically-
Fidel Castro's old pee in there or something.
basically,
sometime soon.
basically, the DC Brau, the Public, is a pale ale. So I'm
You're a
trying to
pale
find.
ale.
I'm trying to find. Shut your face.
I don't know why that was too good.
Oh, we are degrading.
We're
try
falling
to-
apart
That's
here.
not,
It's all right.
that's not very pale.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the.
That
Not
looks like when
very
you're
pale.
That looks like when
I'm
you're.
trying
That
to
looks like a
find.
golden lager.
No, it says the pale
It's
ale.
a little pungent.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's got a little.
Stings the nostrils.
It stings the nostrils.
Stings the nostrils. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, that
Not
smells
gonna
like pure
lie, Brick.
gasoline.
That smells like pure gasoline.
Rick, you might want to lay low
Oh, yeah.
for a while because you're probably wanted for murder.
God, Anchorman's a good
Britt
movie.
killed a man with a trident.
I saw that. Brick killed a guy.
That was on today. We watched that today. My mom and I watched that today.
Oh,
Well,
This
that's,
is-
it
this is
tastes
not
like
that
it
good.
smells. It's bitter.
Very pungent, but it is.
what are
It
the
doesn't,
IBUs
list,
on
it
this?
doesn't
A little bit
say.
more
It
sour.
doesn't say.
I mean, it's more sour.
We'd have to look it up.
6% alcohol.
Yeah, it's a little hoppier, but
not bad. Not,
Go figure. A politic
I'll
beer
put
that
it in,
isn't
I'll put
the
it
best
in
for
second
me.
place right now out of 3. Or,
New Columbia.
I'd be
yeah, well,
curious.
see, that's a political statement they're making.
This is awesome. This is 6 bears and a goat. May West Blonde Ale.
Listen, I've had,
6 bears
that's
and a
down in
goat.
Stafford somewhere, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
because
Fredericksburg.
Fuck, our
Right,
name is
I'll just
that.
bring 6
I
beers
passed
and an
that
alligator
on my
next
way
time.
south one time, and have heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is.
I like the can.
So you
This
said it's
is-
called 6 beers and a goat?
6
6
bears
bears,
and a
and a goat.
And you know where it's all military.
Lions and tigers
Yeah.
or bears? Oh my!
Shut the fuck up.
Huff.
All right, 6 bears and a goat.
6 bears and a goat. This is a blonde ale. Patrick, do the stats on us for it with alcohol by volume and
All right.
if
I'll
it
give
shows
CJ
anything.
his little.
You got more fun.
So we have 5% alcohol by volume.
I like this. It's a
A
very
lot more
mellow
head than
beer.
usual here.
Well, if you
Is
knew
that
how
a
to
bad
pour,
thing? That's
What?
never a
It's
bad
head.
thing.
What?
Exactly.
I have a big head up here. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the direction we were going.
That's
but
this is a very light.
yeah, it's
I like that.
I like that though, man.
I like
I
that.
like something that doesn't give me the punch like the politician beer that we just had.
You know.
All right, so what are we setting at
political
first?
statement
I like the 3-notch brown. I'm gonna put that right in the
Kinda
center.
Like, it's like
DC
it's like Steel
DC
City
Public.
Light.
The Public wasn't bad. The Patriot was still good, but it's still not in that.
I still like the brown ale.
brown
is the
was
best
definitely
one so
English
far.
brown ale was definitely a good start. That's 3 knots from Charlottesville. And we just did Fredericksburg, 6 bears and a goat.
I like
Excuse
6
me.
bears and a goat.
I like that
like
one.
that.
Yeah.
I like
I'll
that
try
one a
six
lot.
6 alligators and a tiger next week.
But why six bears?
Because apparently the owners are all military. 6 of them. I guess the bear signifies one branch of the military. I'm not sure. It's the goat is obviously the Navy.
That's Tom Brady.
Yeah. No, the goat is the Navy.
And then the bears are
right.
the bears.
And
So
the si-
there
and-
you
and
go.
the-
Monsters of the Midway.
And it's a bunch of guys that were in the military that got together, and there were 6
cool.
in
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it said there's something about it on the can. It says something about that. World War II servicemen honored the legendary blonde bombshell by naming an inflatable life jacket after her famously buxom figure. She is pretty hot when you look at them fucking pictures. Those,
Man, if I
women,
keep drinking, she'll be more bucks.
those women were sexy as
Easy now.
Hey,
Easy
West.
now.
Yeah,
Easy.
they were. When the front air pockets of the life vest were inflated, it gave the wearer a top-heavy appearance, much like a well-endowed actress. West made a name for herself in vaudeville before becoming an early Hollywood star. Yeah,
What's that?
Still don't know where the bear came from. He's talking about fucking Mae
it's
West.
talking about how they named it the blonde ale.
Oh, I don't care about that shit. I was
All
Never cared about that.
Okay, just tell her to pull her pants down. All right, so
Go ahead. I'm getting some info.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is that your bookie?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Here we go. Real quick. 6 Bears and a Goat is named after its founders and the mascots of their respective military services. The 6 Bears are 20-year retirees from the Coast Guard.
Okay.
And the Goat is a retiree from the U.S. Navy. That's where you get 6 Bears and a Goat. Selected, they have served their country for over 140 years.
Wow. Cool. Cool as shit.
Wow.
Enjoy having them on the show. This looks like this is from James River Brewery in Scottsville, Virginia. This is Fluvanna Floss.
Oh, I don't want to hear about Fluvanna. They beat us in the
This
semifinals.
this is the Hefeweizen.
Oh.
You have to tie baseball into everything here, don't
It's
you?
The Flukos.
the fighting
the
Flukos.
fighting fucking Flukos.
Fighting fuckos.
This is a Hefeweizen, and if you've been listening to our show, we enjoy Hefeweizens quite a bit.
Except for the strawberry one that didn't taste the strawberries.
yeah, I was here for that one.
I know.
Yeah.
It just tastes the asshole.
Oh, that smells fantastic. It smells like Swedish fish.
It does have a Swedish.
does,
It
doesn't
does,
it?
doesn't it?
Hey, yo,
It
coach.
does. It
Hey, yo,
smells like
coach.
Swedish fish.
Hey, yo, coach, let me get the Swedish fish over there.
Oh my!
That's nice.
That
That's
is
nice.
naughty.
Yeah, James River. That's down in Richmond, right?
That's really sweet.
That's
That
sweet.
is.
I was gonna
My
say.
taste buds is just like completely. My taste buds is just like completely.
really-
I'm all puckered up.
Oh shit!
Fluvanna
that hit me.
floss.
That's very good.
What's
Is it? Where's it?
What's
Where's it
the-
produced?
It's in
Fluvanna
Statesville.
County?
Statesville. It says Statesville,
Is that-
Virginia.
is that
it
Fluvanna
says,
down
it
near
says right
Charlottesville?
there.
Scottsville,
on-
Virginia.
Scottsville. Sorry. What's the brewing company? James River Brewing.
James River Brewery. It's 5% alcohol by volume.
That made me pucker like hell. You guys think it was sweet? Remember when we did
it
those
was.
taste tests from back in the day when we did the freaking flavor test?
That is lovely.
No, I don't. I'm not puckering, but it's got a nice.
That's nice.
Alrighty.
You don't like that?
Coach doesn't like it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. It just has a certain.
Stop crying.
Do you see my fucking eyes watering? It just struck me as a bitter instead of a sweet
Bitter?
tasting. Yes, a very strong bitter. And we
I don't
did
taste
this
the bitter
back in
at
the
all.
day. Back in the day when he was in the classroom, we talked about genetic links between tasting and things like that. And there are definite genetics that define what you taste as sweet, is somebody else's salty, which is somebody else's bitter.
TPC.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's drink beer, nerds.
And then I
And the
really
stout
like
coming up
this
there
one. This is a Rocket Frog Brewing Company. I love this whole idea. It feels
That's a
like
cool looking can.
yeah, and what it feels like when you feel the can is that it's a excuse me.
Perfect.
Sorry. It is it's like a decal that's been pressed onto the can. It's not the can hasn't been painted,
Well,
so
yeah.
to speak.
Yeah.
But this is Wallops Island, brewed in Sterling,
Wallops Island.
brewed in Sterling, Virginia. Rocket Frog Brewing Company. This is an American brown ale again.
Well, Wallops Island is where NASA launches a lot of rockets from the Virginia coastline.
And you see them on there. You
Yeah.
see the rocket going off there, and
Been
it
to Wallops
says,
Island.
it says rich notes of caramel, toffee, and chocolate, smooth, delicious. 2018 Great American Beer Festival bronze medal winner. Well, we'll be the fucking judge of that. It's 5.3%
the
alcohol
silver
by
and gold.
volume, and
There's the silver.
oh, look
Oh
at that.
my!
I'm gonna
Oh,
give
I
you
got a
little
bad
bit,
feeling
I'm gonna give
about
you a
this
little
one.
bit more.
Oh, I got a bad feeling about this one.
I really do, Johnny. I really do.
Tom Berenger.
Yeah. Okay, LT. What do you think, LT?
That's right. I don't think I'm going to make this out.
I just don't think I'm going to make it out. That smells wonderful. Smells
I'm
wonderful.
only gonna get a little because
Stop being a sis.
I keep having bad experiences with the dark beers. Don't you dare try and
Wow.
get tough on me, throw up boy.
I got no shame.
I like it.
I do too.
I like this.
I like that a lot.
Okay, this one isn't bad, so
Yeah.
I'll have the rest.
Rocket Frog. I'm telling you. Rocket Frog Brewing. This is their brown ale. What is it? Is it an English brown ale?
American brown ale.
American brown ale.
So they
America.
are English.
Bronze medal winner, American Beer Festival 2018. I like it. This shit is good. I could drink this beer. I could drink this one. I think I'm gonna have to push the Brow to maybe the third spot. I think our Browns kicked some ass today.
In my opinion, I still like
The three notch.
the three notch.
Three
one.
notch was definitely
I
good.
think it's got a
enjoyed
little
that.
bit more
I enjoyed
flavor.
that. I enjoyed that a lot.
I think it's
CJ,
got a
give
little
me
bit more
give me your
flavor.
phone so we get a picture of this, and then I don't have to keep sending it back and forth to you.
Overall, they're
Pretty good. Pretty good six.
Pretty good
Pretty
selection.
That was a
except
great six.
Yeah,
the
pretty good
Fluvana one freaking hit me hard with the bitters. And I'm not gonna say it's a bad beer.
I'm not sure about the
It's just-
statehood thing. That
statehood?
one was, that was.
yeah, that was
It was okay. It was okay.
it was more sour.
Yeah.
A little bit more bitter.
Which one?
The state,
The state?
The one that
the
wants
Columbia one,
the Columbia.
New Columbia.
Let's make DC a state shit.
Oh, DC Brow, the
No,
public.
the politician
the
one.
public.
Yeah, that one. No, it did not hit me good. No.
Yeah, overall, I mean,
Nice choice.
Yeah.
those are very good. Absolutely.
So I think we're going on to IPAs next week. We're gonna talk about a seasoned glass, and when we're gonna season the glass, we're gonna use an orange peel and a slight orange flavor on the rim, and drop the orange in and pour the beer in on top of that. So we'll probably go IPAs next week, which will be one more week closer to college football in the NFL. And I'm sure over the next week, as training
And the
camps
baseball
get heated
playoffs get heated up.
They're
going
gonna
to
get heated up.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
playoff races are going to
Yeah,
start
yeah,
going.
that wild card makes
Football's
it
getting
real
started up.
interesting.
But how about the freaking Boston Red Sox taking an ass out of the freaking Yankees?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I think I saw a stat on ESPN. I can't remember if it was yesterday or today or whatever like that. But the Yankees have given up in the last week 56 runs.
Yeah, but they're just way too talented to let that little setback push them anywhere. They're good. They're really
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. And it's the same thing as the Dodgers getting beat 11-1 today.
It does.
You know,
You play 162 games.
they got
shit's
the
going
best.
to happen.
They got the best
Shit's
record.
going to happen.
They
It's
got the
just
best
you
record
limit,
in baseball.
You limit those shitty times, and you're a good team. You
Yeah.
know, like the Pittsburgh Pirates, they haven't limited anything.
Yeah, but we saw some good stuff yesterday at the game. I enjoyed
I thought it
myself
was an overall
immensely.
good game.
That little kid that sat in front of us, he was awesome. I love messing with him. It was a good time. But the
He was
weather
eating
was
popcorn like it was his job.
Oh my God, that kid ate an entire bucket. He ate an entire bucket of popcorn, a bucket and a half of popcorn
That's chump
himself.
change. Come on.
Yeah,
I know, but he probably weighed 50 pounds. CJ, like he wasn't.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
And his mother, you saw his mother jump up and come over to his rescue when he was sitting by himself, and I started dicking with him and stuff. And he goes, one of the funniest parts is he goes, "You said the S word." I was like, we had a big hit. I was like, "Yeah, holy shit!" I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "You said the S word." I go, "I did not say stop. I didn't say that. I said shoot." He goes, "You did not. You said the bad S word." His mother came over and she's like, "What are you doing to my son?" And I go, "Nah, I'm teasing him. And he goes, "What did he
just
say to
dicking
you?"
with him, ma'am.
He goes, she goes, "What
Can I
did he
take
say
your
to
son
you?"
home, ma'am?
I'm working my moves. Chill.
I tried to give him a piece of candy. He wouldn't take it, lady.
I have a van outside, lady. Would you like to come and say hi?
No, she was cool too. She came over and she thought I was.
There goes half our listeners.
Yeah, she thought I was messing with him, but I wasn't. He was
For
a
little
really cool
voice?
kid.
Oh, man.
We just lost 6 people.
I think it was his first Major League Baseball game, and he was really
And those
excited.
were the perverted people that didn't want to be a part of it.
And the
now.
thing about it was he was excited for the Nationals, and when the Nationals started out early in the game, the Nationals were winning 2-0, and they were complete control. And then all of a sudden Kershaw just freaking engaged the mechanism, and
That's right.
And the next
That's
thing you know, he started sitting down Nationals players left and right. And
We're
then,
gonna have to do baseball movies at some point too.
yeah, I think we
there's
could.
some-
I
there's
think
some
we
good
could.
baseball movies out
Yeah.
there. Yeah. No.
But
Anything
so our
else,
beers?
Coach?
Anything with our beers? No. God damn, I think we had a good show today. I enjoyed myself again. This is a great show. And if you're not calling us or sending us emails,
Don't call us.
or
I don't want to talk to you.
I don't. You don't have my phone
I
number.
already
So
had-
what the fuck am I talking about?
I was going to say.
But if you're
I
not
sit
sending us
home all day.
emails,
Call me
send
all
us
you
your
want.
list. Come on, people, just send us your list. It's
the
fun.
pubqm@gmail.com.
Yeah, the pubqm@gmail.com. Send us your list. It doesn't matter what it is. We'll talk about it. We'll mention you on the radio. We'll do whatever we can, and we want to
Biff, if
enjoy
you're out
this
there,
with you.
I will take your list. Just
Yeah.
send me a damn list. Okay?
Yeah, Biff. You
Well, we got a
fuck.
suggestion for beer. Vigna. Vigna posted a beer on our Twitter.
Yeah, I think we're gonna hit up Vigna soon for the show.
If you would like, Coach, have another coach on the show. Why not?
Yeah.
Because I don't have any friends. Okay. From all of us here at Pub Talk, CJ, Coach, Pat, Buzzy.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed, but there are some sports to watch, some beers to drink. And we hope that you have a great, safe week. This will, of course, be up on Monday. We hope you grab a beer, drink responsibly, and enjoy life. Peace out, guys.